President Trump's impeachment entered a new phase this week. Now he's preparing his defense. Mr. Trump's legal team is being led by his personal lawyer, Jay Sekulow, and White House counsel Pat Cipollone. Former independent counsel Ken Starr and former Harvard University professor Alan Dershowitz will also be there. Rudy Giuliani will not be a part of the team. Let's bring in Democratic strategist Michael Starr Hopkins and Republican strategist Lauren Claffey. They're both in our D.C. bureau. Lauren, I want to start with you. The impeachment trial starts next Tuesday, as we all know. What do the president's picks for his defense team show about how he'll handle this trial?
You know, I don't think that he's expecting this to be a very quick process. You can tell by the bolstering of his impeachment team that he obviously thinks that he needs to punch pretty hard on this and have like a pretty fulsome defense. And I think also packing this with people who have had experience with impeachment trials previously is also indicating that he's going to take this seriously, and they may expect some unexpected and fulsome arguments to be heard.
Michael, Speaker Pelosi had delayed the start of this trial. We're now seeing more Ukraine-related documents come out from indicted Giuliani associate Lev Parnas. Did Pelosi's strategy work even though there are no witness commitments yet?
Absolutely. I mean, the more time that we've had, the more information that's come out. And none of that information has been information which has helped the president. And just to turn back to your question about Republicans and staffing for the impeachment, I also think the president's doing something very specific in having people that are familiar to Fox News viewers on that staff, being, you know, Ken Starr, having Dershowitz, Jay Sekulow, people that Republicans are comfortable seeing.
Lauren, I'm going to go back to you. The Senate is going to be working on this trial 6 days a week. Does it hurt the White House if it doesn't end quickly?
I don't think that it necessarily hurts the White House. I think that you're kind of getting to a point, you see it with the polling, where the Democrats are really hoping that this enamors the public, that it is fought out in the court of public opinion. But the polling has really not budged on this since the impeachment proceedings started. So I think what it actually hurts is it takes away from the Democratic primary, because these senators are having to sit in Washington instead of being out on the campaign trail so close to the Iowa caucuses. I think as far as the court of public opinion, a lot of people have dug in, and the polling has stayed pretty consistent. So while it may be an interesting sideshow, we've already seen some fatigue happening, and so I don't think that this will be as impactful as they hope.
Michael, as Lauren just alluded to, senators who are participating in the trial are also running for president. It's taking them off the campaign trail for crucial weeks ahead of the first nominating contest. Is there any way this trial could help Senator Warren, Sanders, or Klobuchar's campaigns?
I mean, in terms of historical proportions, I think they'll have a lot of opportunities to be seen on camera, but it's not really going to help them very much. I think the person who actually could hurt the most is probably Amy Klobuchar, given that Senator Warren and Senator Sanders are both more progressives. The two moderates that are going to be in Iowa kind of untouched are going to be Vice President Biden and Mayor Pete. And without Amy Klobuchar, who's also a moderate there, it's going to give them a lot more time to talk directly with voters.
I want to end with the same question for both of you. It would be interesting to see where each of you are. As you look at the 2020 field, who's having a big week and who's having a bad week? Lauren, let's start with you.
So big week for me is Biden. I think he really benefited from the Sanders-Warren spat this week, and he had a pretty solid debate performance, in addition to the fact that he is going to benefit immensely from being one of the only front runners to be on the ground in Iowa with no other competition, while all the other senators are tied up in Washington with the impeachment proceedings. I think bad week for me goes to Biden. He really took a hit from CNN and Warren this week, and it wasn't a good moment. I think it's pretty unfair the way that he was treated, and his supporters are pretty riled up about it, but it definitely wasn't a good moment for him.
The hot mic not helping Bernie. Michael, what about you? Do you agree with Lauren, or are you on a different page?
I do agree with Lauren. I think the good week was Vice President Joe Biden, and I think the bad week was Senator Sanders and Senator Warren. They're sitting on the same voters, and as long as they continue to cannibalize each other's vote, then it makes it easier for Joe Biden to march his way onto the nomination.
Michael Starr Hopkins and Lauren Claffey, thank you.
Thank you.